morning, and you find me in the Porsche about to head to a Porsche event. I am late, so the fact that I'm filming this at the moment while I'm late is not necessarily ideal, but just wanted to give you a gist about what we're going to do today. So we're going to Brooklyn's Porsche. They've got a meet there. I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what's going to be there, but I want to explain a little bit more about what's going on with my cars, because on my Instagram this week I've talked, well, probably last week by the time this goes out, I've talked about the fact the Porsche is going. That's absolutely the case. The Escort Cosworth as well. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about the reasoning behind that and show you what we're up to today, really. So catch up with you in a mo. So we're on the move and we're going to meet up with someone on the way in one of my all-time favourite cars. So here we are, Porsche convoy following the GT3 RS. Probably the best RS ever made, I reckon. Ooh, controversial. So we're just coming up to Brooklyn's, where the hotel is and where Mercedes-Benz World is. Very, very lucky to live this close to Brooklyn's, essentially, which is just a cool place to live in Weybridge. Man on bike, beware. Joined by another Porsche, a 996 behind as well. Convoy! Porsche convoy! Let's see who's here. I have managed to get the car sideways on this corner before, at about 10 miles an hour, so I don't know what was on the road. Got the car spotters. Here we are. So this has caught my eye. I really like it. It's a GTS 991.1, same as mine, with the second wheels, but the red roof just looks epic, and it's got the same aero pack and clear lights as this guy walks straight in front of me, and it looks epic. So this has caught my eye, which is a 991T, which is really, really cool, classic. Here's the details. A snip at 175,000, very similar to Mr. TGE's 912 in styling. Different engine, I understand, but it's absolutely beautiful. Just look at the old school Avon tyres as well on the wheels, just looks superb. I love the classic 911 shape, and inside it's got this amazing houndstooth interior as well, which is just absolutely stunning. What a beautiful car. I love the way they've kept the silhouette and the styling, so that you've got kind of the old school look of this right up to the race cars up here. This for me is the pick of the bunch though, this 981 GTS. So I had a 981 Boxster, and I would say pound for pound the Boxster 981 is the best sports car for the money that you could possibly buy. This car features the Carrera wheels, which are the same as you've got on my 911. So at the back it's got the rollover hoops here, painted in gloss black. Personally, I'd have spec'd it the same colour as the car. It's quite an interesting one. And also, the air intakes are also painted in gloss black, which would have been an option. It's got the gloss rear badges and the twin exhaust with diffuser that you'd get on the GTS, but also these dark rear lights, which certainly on my 981 were an option rather than the traditional red ones. Inside it is a manual. I'd personally prefer PDK. It's got the tachometer, but the multi-function wheel rather than sports wheel, which is an odd spec in my opinion. Finished in Guards Red with the black detail, and I think it's probably the nicest colour combination for the Boxster. But sitting beside it here, we've got this one. The 718 came out with a 4-cylinder turbo engine rather than the original 6-cylinder engines that were in the 981. But in my opinion, is not such a good looking car as the 981. Inside's very, very similar, albeit I think the seats are better designed in the 718. But I think the styling on this car is just less aggressive, and it just doesn't look as cool. It looks like a Velociraptor at the front, I think. You tell me what you think in the comments. For me, though, this is one of the best looking Porsches ever made, I think. Do you agree? Let me know. Nice Boxster Spider here. Convoy on the way to lunch. Love taking the Volkswagen Beetles out. So we have had a great road trip out today in a couple of Volkswagen Beetles in the wet. We went to the Porsche Centre Brooklands this morning, which you have seen. We did a lot of driving around some cool country roads and just had a look at the stock at Porsche really. But now I bring you into the part of the video that we spoke about at the start, which is what is happening with my cars at the moment. Well, the truth of the matter is I am about to buy a new house. And ultimately, I was initially going to buy a house of one size, and now I've decided I want to buy a bigger place. And the cost of moving is expensive, so I don't want to do it twice. So ultimately, my plan is to buy the biggest place I can. The stamp duty is ridiculous. It's the price of one of my cars, and I don't mean the Escort Mexico. And then there's the deposit, and I don't tend to finance my cars. So my cars, in the main, I own them. So I need to raise the capital, and the easiest and quickest way of doing that is selling one of the cars, or two of the cars. I'm going to aim to only sell one, and I think that's going to be the Porsche. I think I've managed in the last week to raise enough funds to keep the Escort Cosworth, but that's not definite. So I will do everything I can in my power to keep the Escort Cosworth, but ultimately, if it comes to it, the house is more important than the car. I love my Escort Cosworth. It is the dream car, but at least if I have to sell it, at least I've had it, I've experienced it, and I've loved every minute of owning it. As I said, I'll do everything in my power to keep the car, but when it comes to it, the house is more important. One of my favourite cars today was the Porsche Boxster. Still, for me, pound for pound, one of the best sports cars you could buy. I had a yellow one back in 2014, and I've got to say, I still, to this day, regret selling that car. If I knew what I knew now, the idea of owning more than one car when I sold that was alien to me, which is ridiculous now when I've got 6. But it didn't make sense at the time to keep it. So essentially I sold it, but I wish to this day I thought it was going to drop in money. If anything, it's probably gone up since I sold it. So yeah, 981 Boxsters, I just think they're absolutely fantastic cars. That was probably the pick of the bunch for me outside of the GT3 RS. Following the GT3 RS always makes me want one, and that's a car in the future I would love to add to the garage. But I think for me, I've always been the same. I'd rather wait for the car I really want than buy kind of not the one I want. So with the GT3 RS, I think I'm going to wait to see what comes with the 992. Once I've parted with my 991, I will look in a year or so's time to buy another car, and the 992 will be at the top of my list. And by which point, who knows, GT3 RS variants might be out, and that's probably what I'll be aiming for. But it's not a priority in my life at the moment. I've had nice cars. I've had some brilliant cars over the last few years to run around in. The R8, the RS5, the Porsche 911. I had an RS4. I've had some really great cars. And I think for me, I really enjoy driving the Focus RS as a daily. So I'm going to start to explore now which Ford I bring back into the garage. Or even I'm going to use my Heritage as a daily car. That is still a genuine prospect. I own that car, and my theory being that, you know, the car's worth more than I paid for it. Yes, but ultimately, if I run that car every day as a daily, I'm not paying for another car. So if you start to look at the saving and the cost saving over year 1, 2, and 3, if I drove that for the next 3 years, it would be the equivalent of what it'd be worth with low mileage. So there's a few options at the moment. I haven't decided yet what I'm doing. All I know is the Escort, if it has to go, then it will be very sad, and it's not something I want to happen. But if it does, it will just be a necessity, and I'll do it. You know, I do buy the cars I love, but ultimately having a home, somewhere nice to live, is the most important thing. So yeah, we shall see. Time will tell. I won't sell the Escort cheap. I don't need to sell it cheap. I'm not that far away in the gap between what I need and what I've already got. So yeah, if somebody comes and offers me the right money, which I'm happy with, it will be sold. If they don't, it will stay. Simple as that. And that's kind of it, really. That's probably a good note to wrap the video up. So I hope you've enjoyed. This has been a bit of a different video to normal. Normally it's very Ford-centric, looking around the cars. Today's just been a day out, really. We went somewhere local, Brooklands, very local to me, where I live, and saw some cars that were a bit different. Whether you like it or not, let me know. Is this something you'd like to see more of before this Porsche leaves? Or do you like the Ford stuff? Let me know. So, got lots of other content coming very soon, which I'm looking to share with you. But let me know what you think in the video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Cheers, guys. Have a great day.